Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1.
Nice to see you. Welcome to England. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bramall Lane. Can't believe we're finally here. Lots of work behind the scenes the last few weeks, months, years to enable Brook to fight at this football ground. Obviously a big Blades fan, something that he's been asking me to deliver for many, many years, and what a fight to welcome to Bramall Lane on May the 27th, live and exclusive on Sky Sports Box Office and Showtime in America. I believe, well, I think I know, the best fight in the 147-pound division. I think one of the best fights in world boxing. The IBF welterweight world champion the special one, Brook, against the undefeated American Errol the Truth Spence. It's an absolutely mouth-watering clash. And before we hear from everyone on the table, I'm going to pass over to Head of Sky Sports, Adam Smith, to say a few words.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, boxing's flying at the moment, isn't it? With Tony Bellew's incredible win over David Haye the other week. We moved to Manchester this week for the huge Linares rematch. We've of course got Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko in front of 90,000 at Wembley. What about 25, 30,000 here at Bramall Lane at the end of May? I think it's a wonderful matchup, first and foremost. When Eddie told me this was going to happen, I was absolutely delighted. Brook, who's done everything that's been asked for him, a wonderful fighter for so many years. He took the plunge, he went in with Gennady Golovkin, and I think he did terrifically well that night. The weight, obviously a problem, the injury, but you know what, he's come back, and he's come back to his natural weight to defend his title against one of the guys I think is one of the best in America that America has given us in the last few years. I've been watching Errol Spence since he was an amateur. I think he's wonderfully talented. There's many over in the States that believe he's the next pound-for-pound king. They really rate Errol Spence. He's unbeaten in 21, 18 knockouts. I think it's a terrifically dangerous fight, this, for Brook. It's fraught with danger, and I think that should have huge credit for taking on his mandatory challenge here in Sheffield. Great that Errol's come over. I think it's a fantastic matchup for the welterweight division in world boxing, and I hope everybody gets behind it. We certainly will. It's a huge event on Sky Sports Box Office at the end of May. Eddie will, I'm sure, produce a stacked card to be a wonderful hors d'oeuvre for what will be a great main event, and we'll bring you all the build-up that we can. We'll be in camp with we'll be in camp with Errol, and I'm really, really looking forward to this. This is a proper fight.
Thank you, Adam. This event wouldn't be possible without Sheffield Council and, of course, Sheffield United Football Club. Stephen Bettis has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to try and make this happen, and Simon McCabe for a long time had meetings with him over the years to try and make this event happen. I know now the Head of Operations to say a few words on behalf of Sheffield United Football Club.
Yeah, firstly, thank you, Eddie, and thank Matchroom and the team for your help and assistance in making this great event happen. We're absolutely honoured and delighted to be hosting a world title fight here at Bramall Lane. We've invested significantly in the stadium in recent years, which enables us to host such a great event as this, and hope it's the first of many. Sheffield, I think, as many as you know, has a great boxing heritage. The stadium itself hosted its first boxing event back in 1984, of which Harold Bomber Graham fought here. So we're looking forward to a great fight. It'll be a great event. It'll be a cracking crowd. Anyone that's been here for a football event will know that there's no better atmosphere than Bramall Lane when it's a full house. There'll be over 25,000 here to see the local lad, the Unitedite, take on Errol, and we all very much look forward to hosting the event that night and seeing a great spectacle.
Thank you very much. Over to Team Spence. Brad, welcome.
Thank you.
And you've been over for a number of fights recently, and of course, Errol Spence flying the flag for you guys in America, and one of your hottest talents that you guys look after.
Listen, this is going to be a great fight. We got two of the best at 147. Put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a good one.
Derek James, you're the man behind the tactics and the plan for Errol Spence to become world welterweight champion. Tell us about this fight and what you expect on May the 27th.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here. I believe that this is not only the biggest fight in welterweight boxing, but this is the biggest fight in the world right now. With the fact that you have the best from Great Britain, the best from America, so that makes it an international fight. I read and I listen to how you present Errol as the American, as to say that there's a difference. That, you know, he's a British guy, we're an American guy. And I'm happy to be here. And I think that Errol Spence is the best opponent that Kell Brook has ever faced. Saying that he just fought Triple G, I said the exact same thing to Chris Algieri, and he had just fought Amir Khan and also Manny Pacquiao. He's the best and most technically sound fighter that Kell Brook has ever fought. And so I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good day, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Dominic, obviously the Triple G fight last September, a great event, a great effort from Kell Brook. We knew what it was. We took the gamble in that fight back at 147 pounds, and Kell way ahead of his usual place with 10 weeks to go. Been out in Fuerteventura for 4 weeks, already in great shape.
I mean, we all watched the Triple G fight at the weekend, last weekend, and for me, you could see after being in the ring with Kell, there was something missing in that fight. You know, Kell had knocked the stuffing out of him, and he wasn't the same fighter. I don't think everybody gave Daniel Jacobs a chance in that fight. And, you know, watching Daniel Jacobs, you could see he picked a bit off Kell, switching, rolling, moving, grabbing, holding, got through that fight. And all people thought he won that fight. Yet, apart from the eye injury, you know, he didn't really make a dent on Kell apart from that. And I think if Errol Spencer's coming over here with the idea that he's going to make a dent in Kell Brook, he better rethink his game plan. Kell Brook is a very technical, sound fighter, and he's the best we've got. He's been in with bigger guys, and he was the first one to take on Golovkin, show people the blueprint how to beat him. And, you know, Daniel Jacobs nearly came close to doing that. I'm not too sure that Errol Spence is the best at 147 in America. I think there's other fighters I class in front of him, but he's coming over here. He's taking his chances, you know, and we'll see how he goes on. We've got a DVD of his fights. We'll analyse everything. He's a southpaw. Kell loves fighting southpaws. He's very good against southpaws. For us, it's actually easier than orthodox fighting. So, you know, we've got 9-10 weeks left. Kell's well in front of his training plan. He's well on his weight target. He's looking good. He's looking strong. We've just come back from Fuerteventura. Done 5 weeks out there. I've had a great time. Put some serious work in. Kell's dropped some good weight. Got himself in a good place. And it's just a case now of lining up the sparring partners and getting the graft done. And that's what we intend to do. And, you know, when they step in the ring in Sheffield, just like we did all those years ago in '84 when Errol Graham boxed here, boxing an American, I'm sure that Kell Brook will come out victorious. I think Errol Spence will learn a lot. He's still got time to come back and maybe challenge other guys in the division, Thurman or Garcia or something like that, and pick himself back up again. But I don't think on the 27th it's going to be his night.
Errol, welcome. The Truth, they call you, and I guess May the 27th is your moment of truth, challenging for your first world title against Kell Brook.
Definitely. This is a fight that I've been wanting. I've been waiting for a long time. You know, it's been a lifelong dream of mine since I started boxing. I finally get my opportunity. And like I said before, I'm coming here to take the title. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Kell Brook, he's a good fighter. But I feel like I'm a better fighter than him. And I'm the best fighter at 147.
Obviously, there was talk of him moving up. Many felt that he wouldn't defend his title at 147, but glad he had stayed there, and now the fans have, I believe, the best fight in world boxing.
Definitely. I mean, that's what I want. A true champion want to take the title from the champion. You know, you don't want to take the title from somebody you have to fight because a champion vacated. You know, I want to fight the champion, and I want to beat the champion so I can become a true champion. And that's what true champions do.
Kell Brook, the dream is here. Your club, your time to defend your world title in front of a packed out Bramall Lane. May the 27th, Errol Spence. There was no vacating this title for you.
There were no vacating for me. First of all, I'd like to thank you, people behind Sky, Sky backing me and getting it across the line to get it at Bramall Lane. When I was 6-year-old, my uncle Johnny used to take me down to this, to the ground and said, one day you're gonna fight here and defend your world title, and it's come true. So I'm overwhelmed that I finally got it across the line this fight. But I'm so happy, like I said, and it took me so long to get this world title. The team around me were telling me to move up in weight, but it's been too hard to get to become IBF world champion. So you got to come here, you got to come to my backyard and take it. Like I had to go over to Sean Paul's backyard and take it away from him. The fact is, all these Americans, we've seen it before with Jeff Lacey, there's a lot of hype in it. He seems to, he's looking the part, but he's fighting, Algeria, who's not a big puncher. You're 10 stone coming up and you're fighting a 50-odd-year-old man in that, the Italian guy. He's never ever fought an animal like me, who's so determined to, become great and wipe out the division. After I beat Spence, I won the Thurman of the world and unify all this division. That's what I want to do, Ed.
Of course, when we had the conversations, there was talk of moving up to 154 pounds. But a lot of people just presumed you'd vacate. People goaded you that you just automatically vacate, and that almost pushed you even more to say, absolutely not, this is the fight I want.
Absolutely. When people were telling me that, it made me stick my heels in more. And I need to. It took me too long just to give this title away. It's going to be tough, to make welterweight, but I've got a great nutritionist in Greg Marriott who's going to take me down to the weight slowly. I'm already passing my targets out in training, so I'm looking forward, to getting in there and giving the fans a magnificent fight, because if this guy, meant to be the next big thing, then all I can say is the fans are in for a treat, because that I'm going to bring the heat, on the 27th of May.
Obviously, you lost your last fight, which was hard to take. A great fight against the middleweight unified world champion. How much do you take from that fight, the fact that you went in there, mixed it with him, stood up to his power as well, and now you're moving down to fight effectively a smaller man?
I took a lot from that, from the Golovkin fight. Everybody ripped me off. I went in there, I showed what balls I had to get in there and put it on him, it bust me out in the second round, but I still stood there and I stood in the middle of the ring and, I had it out with him. I learned a lot from that, because he's a huge puncher, and I believe me making welterweight, I'm the biggest welterweight out there, so I believe that I'll be bullying these guys. I believe that I'm going to be so strong, fast, fit, because when I do have to really grill myself to make that welterweight weight and put the weight back on healthfully, I'm like a beast in that ring the day after. So I'm looking forward to chucking some chocolate brownies at Spence. I'm looking forward to it, and the only one truth in this fight is Errol's going to get beat.
Adam, I know you've got some questions for the gentleman at the table.
Yeah, Errol, obviously you've had a really sweet rise up to this point. What makes you believe that you can, obviously the Golovkin fight apart, really become the first man to beat Kell Brook? What is it in your arsenal that makes you different to everyone else he's fought?
I believe in my skills. I've been in there and I sparred with a lot of great fighters, Floyd, Lamar Peace, and Sean Porter, and I went toe-to-toe and tick for tack with the best of them. I believe in my skills, I believe in my ability, I believe in my coach having a great game plan and coming in to win.
What did the great Floyd Mayweather say when you worked together?
He said I was a great fighter. He just said I needed to work on a little bit of patience, and that comes with fighting. And I was 4-0 at that time.
And what do you feel about what Kell was saying about the strength that he has at welterweight, that he's the most powerful welterweight in the world, that he's bigger and stronger than everybody else? And do you worry about that?
I'm not worried about that at all. I'm not a guy that walk around at 160, 165. I get up to 170 and the high 170s too. So I'm strong, I'm fast, I hit hard too at welterweight too, so I'm a big welterweight too.
And tell us, obviously you've been over here before to the Olympics, so you don't mind the travelling. You're obviously going to come in front of 25,000, 30,000 Brits. That doesn't faze you in any way, or does that spur you on more?
Don't faze me at all. It's all motivation. You know, I've been over here 3 times as an amateur, but it's gonna be totally different as a pro. 30,000 plus fans all rooting for Kell Brook, and I'm excited to upset him.
What are you going to do differently in the fight to anyone that's faced Kell Brook before?
You know, that's a game plan that, you know, we're not going to discuss right now. You know, my coach got it, and we're going to discuss it during training camp.
But you believe that you've got the slick southpaw skills and the power to be able to take this title home?
Definitely.
Kell, let's bring you in. First of all, what after the Golovkin fight, you obviously came to terms with losing for the first time, but were you proud of yourself about the way you went about the rounds of action? Because from our point of view, it was a hell of a fight.
You know, I was excited during the fight. You know, I was gutted because the fight got stopped basically, and you know, I was just gutted just to see how I would have gotten. You know, if I would have been able to see, I believe that you know I'd gave it Golovkin, and I believe that I could tell at the end of the rounds and during the fight that he was slowing down, and I think I was going to take over.
Do you think you would have beaten him if the
I believe so. You know, I've you know, till that stage I'd never dreamt of losing. You know, so I'm a champion. I go in there every single fight to win. I'm determined to win.
In the weeks afterwards, obviously losing your unbeaten record, which was intact and so impressive for so long, were there moments that you thought, you know, what next? Was there, you know, a depressive period?
Yeah, of course. Nobody likes to lose, and I had the longest reigning, you know, unbeaten record in Britain, and I wanted to keep hold of it. You know, absolutely good. You know that I'd lost in such a big fight, but like I said, I've learned a lot from that fight, and I want blood. I want the truth blood.
I know you've only seen snatches of the fight with Danny Jacobs at the weekend, but do you believe maybe that Gennady Golovkin won't quite be the same again since you've shared a ring together?
You know, nobody's been going the distance with him, you know, so I believe that I did knock the stuffing out of him in that fight. You know, I think I put the blueprint out there, you know, and I remember watching bits of footage, and even Jacobs mentioned that his friend were on the phone to him saying Kell Brook's upsetting Golovkin and, you know, everything else. So I believe that they went in there knowing that he's not invincible, which, you know, it was a close fight and they went the distance.
A great deal's been made about your weight. Obviously, you're saying that you are the biggest, strongest welterweight in the world, but there were people that thought you should maybe go back at light middle because of obviously fighting at middleweight. How happy are you with getting down to 10 stone 7 and being, you know, strong when you do it?
I'm definitely not happy about it. But you know, I'm an experienced fighter. You know, I know what I need to do. You know, I've done it before. I'll do it again. You know, I'm so determined to come in, leave no stone unturned. Follow the diet to a T. You know, don't be sneaking downstairs in the kitchen and going in the fridge. None of that's happening in this fight. You know, I've got to be meticulous. I've got to make sure I do everything. You know, because I'm coming here. You know, for mine and my uncle's dream to be here at Bramall Lane, and I'm gonna bring so much energy from my fans. You know, it's going to be a fantastic night for everyone in Yorkshire.
Is that as much a motivation for you that it's here at Bramall Lane, outside in front of your people, than it's against Errol Spence, this brilliant American?
It's brilliant American, yeah. We're gonna see how brilliant he is, but if he's as brilliant as he says he is, it's gonna bring out the best in me. I'm gonna draw so much energy from all the fans here. It's gonna be a fantastic, spectacular night. So the fans are going to get a fantastic treat on the 27th of May.
You've always liked being up against it, you know, the underdog with Sean Porter out in the States. I think Eddie was saying that the bookies are making Errol Spence favourite here. Does that spur you on? Do you relish those opportunities?
Of course I do. You know, everybody's got their own opinion. You know, nobody's really seen the real Kell Brook, and I believe we're going to get it the 27th of May. You know, I think this is my time. This is for me to go out there and show exactly what I've got. You know, I'm gonna need everything in this fight, I believe. You know, and I'm gonna go out there and do it.
You say you need everything. Is that because of the dangers that he brings, the southpaw speed and skills. Just sum Errol Spence up as a fighter.
You know, I've not really seen all this. I've seen little bits of him, but you know, he's looking the part. But like I said, he's never fought anything, not even come close to anything like me. So we're gonna have to see. He could spar with Mayweather and all these. That's sparring. When you get under here, and every one of my fans wants his blood, and it's a proper fight. That's when we're going to see what it's made of when I hit him on chin with one of these. That's what's going to happen.
I want to change. Let's stop talking about fighting Triple G. That's a fight he lost. Let's talk about the fight he won. So, there are no consolation prizes in boxing. So, but if you keep talking about a fight that he gave a good effort in, that's giving him a consolation prize. Sugar Leonard moved up to fight Marvin Hagler and beat him. Sugar Leonard moved up to fight Donnie Lalonde and beat him. He can keep talking about that. Let's not talk about if y'all giving him a victory for taking the fight, giving him a victory for getting stopped in the fight. The reality of it is that he did not win the fight. So nobody ever talks about that means nothing.
Oh, see.
Mike Tyson was a killer until he went into a boxer.
I can box.
Huh? Wasn't he?
We're not thinking of moving up to
George
a
Foreman was a killer till he
We're not
went
thinking of
down
heavyweight. We're just talking about this one welterweight.
What I'm talking about, well, you show your muscles like that. Muscles mean nothing.
You can't put muscle on your chin.
This is not a flex.
You can't put muscle on your chin.
We can
Can't do that.
We can fight.
I know you can. Yeah. We didn't listen. We like the fact that you can fight, that you are a good fighter. It means nothing to beat somebody who can't fight. It means something.
And Errol's had plenty of experience of that. Plenty.
It means
He's
something.
had a couple of fights like that. 8 fights in a
Man,
year.
you fought
Boxing
somebody with 185 losses. In America, they wouldn't even sanction a fight like that.
Oh, I think they would. I've seen
losses.
some bad
You
fights in
serious?
America. I've seen some bad fights.
185 losses, that guy would not be allowed to box.
185.
Listen, when you look at it like this, when you were 21-0, your opponents had 874 losses. Right? So
the numbers,
so
yeah.
listen, if you divide that
You
up,
weren't an accountant in the previous
if you
occupation.
divide that up, I mean
You're
they
good-
were
you're good at
13
figures.
wins and 40 losses per person. 13 victories, 40 losses. How did you make it to this point? That's why it took so long, because you all decided forever to fight a legitimate fighter.
Who was a legitimate fighter?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm waiting. You're
You're
fighting one
a
now.
boxing coach and a trainer, you don't know.
Huh? What you saying?
I said you're a boxing coach and a trainer, and you don't know what a legitimate fighter is.
I said
We've already done the
I didn't say
comparison.
what, I said
The
who.
comparison was Chris Algieri and Sean Porter.
We're not
That's
talking
it.
about- That's in the past.
No, that's what we're talking about. The best fighters that they both face.
We're not talking about
The
that.
best wins, his best win by his own admittance is Chris Algieri, who was coming up from 10 stone. Our best fighter is Sean Porter. If we put Sean Porter in with Chris Algieri, who would win? Sean
We
Porter
don't
would
know.
kill him.
We don't know. We
But
have no
that
idea.
doesn't mean because Sean Porter's going to beat up Chris Algieri or Chris Algieri's going to beat Sean Porter that it's going to make a difference in this fight. We're talking about their best opponents. That's what we're saying. So on paper, the best guy he's boxed is Algieri, and the best guy we box him with is Porter. That's the end of it. Any other comparison doesn't matter
and I say-
unless they box the same guy, which they haven't boxed the same guy. So if he'd have boxed the same guy as Kel and he'd have beat him in better fashion, then we could make a comparison, but we can't. We can only go on the best wins. And the best win is a 10 stone kid who got put down 3 or 4 times with Manny Pacquiao.
6 times.
Well, 6 times then. After 4 I stopped counting. So if that's your best, fair enough, great. Bring it on the night and we'll see.
Pacquiao could
We'll see,
knock him
simple as
out.
that. Listen, it's not me fighting, it's not you fighting, it's these two.
That's right.
But even if it were me and you, I think I still get the edge.
He's got the same haircut.
He's better looking, he's better looking.
They can stop. They can start a training boxing league. I'm good for that.
Derek, you started all this.
No, I didn't.
You know, it was very peaceful and calm.
No. I'm just being honest though. I would love to see people talk about their victories and their successes,
Don't worry.
not their losses.
Don't worry. I think when you get involved in a fight the size of Triple G, people are going to talk about it, but it doesn't matter. This is. I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's gonna be
You
good.
excited? Errol, are you excited?
Definitely.
Kel?
Ready.
This is what it's all about. This is 2 elite fighters, the World Welterweight Championship, May the 27th, Bramall Lane, Sky Sports box office, Showtime Boxing, no better place. Tickets will go on sale on Fight Pass next Thursday. That's not tomorrow, that's next Thursday. General sale on Friday. the 31st of March. We'll be releasing the ticket prices and all the plans in due course. We are going to pose here for head-to-head shots between the fighters and definitely not the trainers. And then all the guys are going to be available for one-on-ones as well. I think we're going to have a photo outside under the stand, not in the rain. Thank you. One step better. Come closer to the camera first.
Go to the front, guys, please. Go to the front, mate.
Like Errol's a good guy.
That's good, guys.
Straight to them, Kel.
Straight this one, Kel.
Straight to the front again, please, Kel. Errol, straight to the front, please. That's good, mate. Straight this way. Straight to the front, Kel.
Face to face, please.
Well, Brook, yeah. Well, Kel. BJ.
Don't make it mad, Kel.
Tell him, EJ. We gonna see it. Just make weight. That's all you gotta do is make weight. Just make weight. Just make weight. Just make weight. Make weight.
Steroids, you serious, man? You don't take vitamins. You talking about steroids, man.
Just make weight. That's all you gotta do is make weight.
Don't
Yeah,
repeat
okay.
that.
We'll see. Just make weight. Yeah, just make weight.
We take that all the time. Come on, y'all get serious, man. Come on, man.
Just make weight.
Listen, Emmanuel's the last laugh is the one we do. So we don't see what's happening.
Just make weight. No problem. That's what they say now. Yeah, make weight.
If that slow Triple G hits you, how you think somebody smaller, faster gonna do? Slow, slow.
He's like no short Sean Porter.
Couldn't get away from slow Triple G. Slow Triple G. Slow feet, slow
A
hands.
short Sean Porter.
He went 12 with Keith Thurman.
Oh, what? Keith Thurman's not me, is that?
Well, Keith Thurman up there.
Keith Thurman.
I got him out of there easy. Besides Jerry, got him out of there easy. We're gonna see. But stay in the middle of the ring then. Don't run.
Don't run.
Don't run. Stay in the middle of the ring. I'm gonna hold to it.
Those ribs, the jaw. Oh man, I'm telling you.
Stay in the middle of the ring. Don't run.
Kiss it goodbye.
Let's go, Chad. We're waiting up for
Those ribs, listen man, those ribs. You can't wear a real protector in the ring.
Go straight to just outside.